Senior Airman Michelle Vetterick, United States Air Force, law enforcement. My name is Michelle Vetterick. My rank is corporal, law enforcement type, and I was hired in 1999. My father was in law enforcement, and law enforcement was my career field in the military, and I knew I wanted to continue doing this kind of work. The military brought me to MacDill Air Force Base in South Tampa. Once I got here, I realized it's beautiful here. The weather is something I don't mind working in. It's just got everything I want here. I mean, you got the city, you got the beach. The atmosphere is exactly what I was looking for. The agency is large enough that it presents all kinds of opportunities. I can do just about anything at this agency that I can do at almost any agency across the country. And this agency has really given me plenty of opportunities to do different things like hostage negotiations, which I did for 10 years. I've done detective work, I've done community work, I've done patrol, which is really what brings you into law enforcement, dealing with the public. I've worked in undercover street crimes, doing surveillance and things like that, and the possibilities are endless. I could keep going with some of the different areas that I could try to get to in this agency and do different kinds of work during my career. I was law enforcement in the Air Force, so I did some traffic stops, I did some law enforcement. Obviously the military is a little bit different in that you are more about the mission. I could tell you that what I brought with me was an interest in working with the public, ensuring that laws are followed, as well as helping people. I know that's very cliche, but it is what I enjoy doing, and we don't get very much thanks in this job, but I can tell you here at the Sheriff's Office, as opposed to the military, you'd be surprised how many people appreciate what we do here. So I was able to take a lot of what I learned, realized I wanted to continue that in more of a civilian capacity, something that's a little more stable. It's not going to move me all over the country. And once I got here and saw that the Sheriff's Office was going to give me what I was looking for, I found a home. I enjoy working with the public, and obviously as a patrol officer you get to do that daily. Not always a positive interaction, but it's positive when you're able to either take a bad guy off the street or help someone. And in my opinion, that's sometimes the same thing. But I can tell you that I worked in patrol for probably around 5 years, and I never wanted to leave it. I enjoyed it every day. The camaraderie that you have with your zone partners, the supervisors that you work for, it's lifelong bonds that you build with these people, day in, day out. And I'll never forget, those are some of the simple things that you remember. There's certain calls you'll remember that you'll never forget that have impacted you, some you wish you could forget, and some that are amazing. Just like I said, that simple thanks. At 2 years on or so, I was able to become a hostage negotiator. They trained me. I got the best training throughout the state of Florida you can get, and probably throughout the country. And I was a member of the team for about 10 years, and being able to interact with the team atmosphere, with our SWAT team, and see the amount of work that goes into the life-saving process that we do is spectacular. The feeling that you have after coming out of a negotiation where you have just, with your mouth, saved someone's life it's beyond anything I can explain. The SOT program is very similar to a basic training in the military, a much more abbreviated form of it. I think we've learned from the military. We've learned from the fact that we need to break people down to build them back up, to show them our way of doing things, and to instill that pride into them. And the military learned that long ago. So our SOT program basically is a physically demanding program that also is mentally draining. It brings you to, I guess, the motivation of why are you here, and is it what you're here? Are you here for the right reasons? And there's a lot of people who find while they're in SOT, they don't know if that's what they want. And we want those people that are motivated, dedicated, disciplined, and driven. And when those people present themselves to us, they make it with flying colors through SOT. And when they come out the other side, the pride you see in their faces is just amazing. So a basic training is very, very similar to that, obviously a lot longer, but it's the same results. And when you're able to instill that, that's when you have a very strong core of people. So it's very similar. I was deployed during 9/11. I had left the military and I was on active reserve. While I was working on the street, I received the call that we were being activated. Our unit was being activated for a year minimum based on the 9/11 attacks. The sheriff was amazing in what he did for us, those of us that were being deployed. He told us that he was going to ensure that we had a paycheck coming in during the transition to the military pay coming in. And he also said that at the time, and of course this is Sheriff G, he said that he would go ahead and meet up or match up any pay that we needed to bring the amount of pay we received monthly to what we normally receive when we were at the sheriff's office. So for example, as an enlisted airman in the Air Force, I didn't receive what I make here at the sheriff's office, which is much better. And I can tell you that, going back into the Air Force, I had bills that I had created since I've been at the sheriff's office, and I had a mortgage and things like that. And the sheriff made sure that every month I got the same amount of money in my paycheck, even while I was deployed. He took care of me and made sure that my bills could be paid and made sure that I would be able to stay afloat while I was serving my country. Additionally, he made sure to check on us. They always kept somebody keeping in contact with us to make sure our family was okay. And he didn't have to do any of that. Federal law doesn't require he does that, and he went out of his way to make sure that the sheriff's office family stayed the sheriff's office family. I'm Corporal Michelle Vetterick with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. I'm Senior Airman Michelle Vetterick, United States Air Force, law enforcement, security forces, and to serve and protect knows no borders.